This time, we're going to read Margaret Brown's story. Margaret Brown was happy to be visiting France. She had been busy in America raising money for her community to build churches and hospitals. She also gave countless speeches about the importance of a woman's right to vote. Margaret, 47, planned to recuperate in France and spend time with her daughter, who attended college in Paris. There were so many landmarks to see. A few days after arriving, however, Margaret received word that her first grandson had taken ill. She was disappointed to cut her trip short, but she had to return to the U.S. quickly. She booked passage on the first ship to New York, which departed on April 10, 1912. The ship's name was the Titanic. Margaret attempted to enjoy the amazing vessel. The Titanic was the largest, most luxurious ship to ever set sail. There were fancy galas, live music, and gourmet meals, but her thoughts were elsewhere. A few nights into the trip, Margaret laid awake thinking about her grandson when she heard a noise. Outside of her cabin, a commotion of people came rushing by, trying to make their way to the lifeboats. The ship was sinking, and there didn't seem to be enough lifeboats. But Margaret couldn't think about herself. She stood on the deck and guided the other women and children onto the lifeboats first. Her ears filled with screams as the ship began to tilt toward the ocean. Still, Margaret reached out to help more people. Eventually, she was forced onto a lifeboat, just as it was released into the blackness. Margaret gazed at the scared faces surrounding her. She comforted the women and children. Then she grabbed an oar and led the others in rowing. Finally, she saw a light in the distance. A rescue ship! Margaret stayed with the survivors until they docked in New York and were reunited with family and friends. The newspaper reporters wanted to interview Margaret. When they heard about her brave deeds on board of the Titanic, they nicknamed her the unsinkable Molly Brown. Margaret thought it was a bit silly. She was only doing the same thing she did every day, caring for people and helping others in need. Okay, guys, today you are going to be filling out Margaret Brown's column. Make sure that you're going back into the passage and finding the correct details before writing them down on your sheet. Remember, you've just read about another person, so make sure you're not confusing the two. Later on, we'll see what the third person's account was. I wonder if it'll be any different. I don't know. Guess we'll have to see. All right, friends. Happy writing.